Good morning, everyone. I'm Vince Lancy, and this is Friday's Gold Fix Market Rundown. It's 8:17. There's our homepage. Two stories of interest. We'll be discussing the top right-hand story, Bank of America, what to buy during a digital gold rush. And last night, the other story of interest was the gold-silver ratio analysis, which is behind a premium paywall. So we're going to keep that top secret. But the bottom line is it says that the gold silver ratio is actually expensive and it should go to the mid 60s. So let's take a look at the markets. 10-year yields are down 3 at 442. The dollar is 98.22, down 40.39. The S&P 500 is 63.07, up 5. The VIX is unchanged at 1650. Gold is up 19 and change at 33.58, moving towards the top third of the range now. Silver 38.38, up 24. That's me talking about my position. Copper 552, also up 9 cents. WTI 68.65, up a buck and change. Natural gas 353, up 6. Bitcoin up 114, but the real story in crypto is Ethereum up 3.7%, 3607. I added it back to my screen. It's up 21% since a report by Bank of America came out, and it had been up before that report came out, but it's kind of accelerated, and we're going to discuss that today as standalone business model, as well as the implications for commodities like gold. Palladium and platinum are the reason. Well, palladium is the reason that things are higher today. I mentioned this over the last couple of days that the metals, the white metals, but metals in general are taking turns rallying. Nobody wants to be short silver if palladium's rallying. Nobody wants to be short palladium if platinum is rallying. And so you're having a semi-orderly destruction of all short side playing in all metals. Crisis of collateral. There isn't enough palladium. There isn't enough platinum to do these leverage trades. And as a result, over time, each market gets squeezed as demand picks up. The shorts are waiting for a savior and none comes. And that's why silver's higher today. So this is palladium's rallying because, I don't know, somebody wants it, right? And someone says, well, shit, I'm not going to short platinum today. And so a lot of the ratio traders and carry traders have gotten their ass handed to them. And that's a semi-natural seller that's no longer in the market. So when one goes up, the whole complex goes up. We're developing new correlations. All metals go up when one goes up. It's no longer this versus that. Big picture stuff. Okay, grains are all up pretty uniformly too. Okay, let's start with the main topic. Oh, before we start with the main topic, I don't do politics, but it's a current event. The whole Epstein thing. I know a lot of viewers are interested in that. There's the Epstein Files going to be opened to most recently Trump saying the Epstein Files are not real or they're a Democratic hoax, to today where Trump said, quoting, "If there was a smoking gun on Epstein, why didn't the Dems who controlled the files for 4 years and had Garland and Comey in charge use it? Because they had nothing." That was actually yesterday. But today he's opening an inquiry so that the Epstein files can be opened. If you have any doubt about how these things work, the man needs to be popular because he needs the midterms to go his way because he has an agenda. And the MAGA contingent of Republicans are a little pissed. And they're pissed enough to move the polls. And they moved the polls enough for him to say, okay, we'll look at it now. So that's it. Moving on. Bank of America, what to buy during a digital gold rush. That's our title. We have read and written on crypto in this space many times. Recent focus has been on stablecoins and their implications for gold, silver, and U.S. Treasury prices, and our monetary network in general. Two examples of which are attached below in this post. Goldfix had focused in those prior reports on what assets would benefit from stablecoins and how that would also serve to rescue treasuries. Now we need to look at who is causing the potential benefits to gold and treasuries. Enter BOA, who tackled this very angle. On July 13th, Bank of America initiated coverage, which we shared with founders upon receipt July 16th, on the parent industry of stablecoins with an eye on what to invest in. Ethereum is one of their recommendations, which has rallied 21% as of this morning. They have other specific suggestions. So let's give a little more about what it's about. It's a very, very good, short, tightly worded report describing the industry, almost like you're saying gold producers, gold end users, who digs for the gold. I mean, it's very good and tightly worded. So the title of the report is During a Gold Rush, Sell Shovels. It frames Bank of America's investment thesis. The focus is not on which stablecoin will dominate, which we haven't done either, but we still wanted to know which stablecoin would, how it would affect gold or silver, okay? But their focus is not on which stablecoin to buy, but on who enables stablecoin usage. So Bank of America draws a clear distinction between token issuers and the networks, platforms, and institutions that provide the rails that those tokens slide on. The latter group is viewed as more scalable and durable in value creation. Cited infrastructure beneficiaries include issuers, custodians, and network providers who will benefit most. That full analysis is in the premium post just sent out, BOA, What to Buy During a Digital Gold Rush. They give specific names as examples. If you're trying to, the terminology, if you're not familiar, the terminology may obfuscate what's going on, but it's just terminology. The functionality of these players is the same as in any industry, with very big parallels to mining. If you understand precious metals, you can understand this. Pick and shovel analogy aside. So, for example, the stable coin is the product. The issuer of the stable coin is the person selling or creating the stable coin. So they're both a producer and a marketer of the stable coin. The network is the Visa or MasterCard that accepts the stable coin, right? And the custodian is the vault. So the bank has a vault. Stable coins are in the vault. They're protected. They're custodially protected. And all these things fit into the same model that you see for precious metals. And so this should be something up every metals person's alley. Beyond the fact that stablecoins will be the vehicle that will propel gold and silver higher because it'll make them more available on a broader network. Ethereum is an example. Think of who Ethereum's competitors are. Think of a company, I'll throw a company, he didn't say this company, but I'll throw a company out there. Circle. The recent rule changes, which they go into the rule changes, they go into all that. The recent rule changes are just, it's like the Circle bill. Look up what Circle is. And you'll be like, oh, Circle is the creator of stablecoins. You need a stablecoin, you go to them and they'll make it for you. So it's kind of like the investment banking. Every one of these divisions is a division of old banking, okay? You didn't ask this, but I'm going to throw it at you just because I'm going to do probably a long piece on this. But a bank has investment banking. That's the financial engineering. They create the derivatives that people buy. They create the product. Custodianship, they hold your shares for you or your gold or your silver. And distribution, that's their network. So they create the product and they market the product to their network. And they tell their network to leave their product in their custody. That's a bank, okay? In this industry, it's the same thing. okay? But it's not one company. Circle or Ethereum, depending on how you look at it, creates the product. Ethereum creates the product, okay? The network that it is used on, the distribution network, is the successor to Visa or MasterCard. And the custodian is literally, in this report, a bank. So that's it. It's the same thing. It's the same thing with different words. Okay, so moving on. Again, the full analysis is in the premium post we just sent out. Related posts directly, if you're just focused on gold and you want to approach it from gold, stable coins, and the next bubble. That's a July 9th piece we did. Very personal touch on that piece and what we think is going to happen. Alchemy in the blockchain blockchain era. That's an important piece on what blockchain can and will do for finance. This is an era that's going to unlock the value for gold. So do you want to own gold? Of course you do. Do you want to own the guys selling the picks and shovels for the gold? It's the same people selling the picks and shovels for the stable coins. Podcast, special platinum report and commentary. We stand by that. That's a bearish analysis from a second bank and our counterpoint to it. Gold silver ratio analysis, we just alluded to that. Founders AM, Fed Independence Revisited. That's going to be brought up by many banks going forward because now it's an issue that has to be discussed. The seal has been broken there. And metals wars, what's mine is mine. What's yours is mine unless you protect it. Okay, moving on. We want to go through some top news today. These are from a bullion bank, actually, what they're reading today. And hat tip to Zero Hedge for this, but we'll just give you a couple headlines here. Trump is set to open the U.S. retirement market to crypto investments, with Trump preparing an executive order to allow 401k plans to tap a broad pool of alternative assets, according to FT. Everyone who's over the age of 55, listen closely. Do you remember when Ronald Reagan changed the tax laws in 1986? Do you remember what happened to stocks then? He changed the tax law to make it easier to own stocks. He permitted insurance companies to offer more aggressive variable annuities, which held stocks. The law was changed to facilitate and steer money into stocks. That's one of the reasons that gold went down, because other products were made and money was funneled or directed or steered in that area. This is the infrastructure under Trump changing to facilitate crypto investments. Does gold suffer? Well, it could relative to the new products. Gold's not going to go down because of it. I guess what I'm saying is you want to keep in mind that the next generation is going to be doing with crypto, whether you like it or not. I don't care. It's going to happen, right? It's going to do with stable coins what Reagan did with stocks. Nobody liked stocks in the early 80s. That's where you go to die if you own stocks. Anyway, that's the cyclical change that we're having. What's going on in China? China's doing the same thing with gold. They're telling their insurance companies to buy gold to offer it as insurance product to their people. They are liberating gold ownership. We are liberating crypto ownership. Two cultures, gold and crypto. Crypto is going to be used to make gold go higher in Asia. Gold is going to be used to make crypto more palatable. Oh, we got a stable coin. It's got gold in it. Let's buy the stable coin. And over in Asia, it's like, we've got gold. Well, how can we get access to it quicker? Let's use a stable coin. Gold is the bridge between both worlds in so many ways. Anyway, I love this stuff. Fed Chair Powell rebutted the Trump administration accusations that he misled Congress over a $2.5 billion refurbishment of the central bank's headquarters. Well, he rebutted it, so he's nervous. Fed's Christopher Waller called for a quarter-point rate cut this month. Probably he's looking for a job. China's exports of rare earth products jumped in June. Yeah, that's because we cut a deal with them, and that deal is a ceasefire. And if you're wondering who blinked first, they probably both blinked, Xi and Trump. But our complete auto and military industry and sales would shut down in 6 months without rare earths. People buy our submarines. It's a big part of our economy. China trimmed its U.S. Treasury holdings for a third straight month in May. Well, there's a ceasefire, but there certainly is no truce. The EU has reached an agreement on a new sanctions package against Russia. What good that'll do? And well, that's not going to be a premium, but you get the idea. Friday, housing starts at 8:30. Looks like it's already come out. And silver backed off a little bit. Data doesn't really matter as much right now. All right, so charts and final market check. Let's do that. There's Ethereum. You got to love this, right? The Bank of America's report comes out on the 13th, after the market had been bought by probably everyone who saw the report first. We gave it to subscribers on the 16th, and it's up about, 3,200 to 3,600. Jesus. 400. So 10, 15%. That's pretty good. All right. So, and Bitcoin has gone nowhere. Just take a quick look at that. Because all this legislation is not about Bitcoin. It creates competition for Bitcoin. Bitcoin will truly be gold compared to these other coins. Anyway, keep that in mind. Palladium, the new darling of the markets. What are you going to say? Platinum, tracking palladium today. Tracking means platinum is up. I guess we'll buy some palladium because it looks cheap on a relative basis. But look at platinum. Platinum's out of its structure, right? Silver, out of its structure. Oh, I love this. You have no idea how much I love this as a silver bull. And gold, its structure was here, and then it failed on getting out of a structure here. So gold's in a holding pattern. What can I look at here that won't bore you to death? Oh, let's do a little gold silver. That's a busy looking chart. There we go. All right, so gold silver. Since the great financial crisis, they realized, meaning central banks, realized they should probably stop selling gold and maybe start buying it. And so the bullion banks started buying gold and selling silver. And then it got goofy, right, during COVID. And then they resumed it, sometimes at a faster pace after 22. And that started to happen. And every time silver gets a little bit too precious for them, meaning right in here, they tamp it down because they want to make sure you know that silver's not really precious. It's industrial. That's the beauty of silver. The banks have been going out of their way for decades telling you silver's not precious. It's industrial. Sold while they buy gold. And guess what? It's the industrial part that's shoving silver up their ass now. It's the industrial part that's shoving platinum in the same place. Palladium, I don't know anything about it except that I don't like it. But there you go. That's it. I'm Vince. We have a lot of stuff coming up this weekend, but that's it for today. Take care.